made some big decisions and some big calls in your time as Arsenal manager. Would qualifying for Champions League vindicate those, do you think, and sort of prove you right?
I don't know, the perception probably would be that, but you just try to make decisions. We try to make decisions for the best interest of the football club. That's it. And then for the team and trying to be consistent with the things that we want to achieve and how we're going to evolve and embody the vision that we have for the football club. And then obviously the results would dictate more likely whether you were right or wrong.
I was just going to ask you really, what does it mean in terms of prestige? Also from a financial sense, it's a real game changer, isn't it? The club hasn't been in for 5-6 years. Just how precious would that be to the club, to the players, to yourself?
It's what we want to do, and that's what we haven't been able to achieve in the last years. And obviously, that had big consequences for the club in the atmosphere and the environment around it, financially. So we want to put that right, and the best way to do it and help the club is to deliver on the pitch, because then the rest naturally comes out and plays out the way we want.
In many ways, when you look at what's at stake, it's almost like a cup final tomorrow night. Virtually winner takes all, and the loser could end up getting a massive financial hit. Will you be almost treating it as a cup final tomorrow?
Well, it's the opportunity to achieve something that we haven't achieved in many years, as I said, and it's the game that would decide it. Normally, you don't play games like that in the league unless you are competing for the trophy. But we know that in our level, in our extent, what that game can deliver to us is really important.
In a way, you probably won't play for a draw because you haven't drawn virtually all season, and it's not really in Arsenal's way to play for a draw.
We always play to win, and this is the way we're going to prepare the game. I'm sure they will try to do the same tomorrow. That's why, hopefully, it's a really spectacular game.
Just one each, yeah? Is that okay, Nick?
Okay.
Yeah.
You were involved as a player, of course, in quite a few tense Champions League run-ins for reaching fourth place, and something went right to the wire. How does this feel compared to some of them when Champions League football was maybe a bit more of a familiar thing?
Well, at the time, obviously, the club was very consistent achieving Champions League spots, so it was almost a must, and now the perception is a little bit different because we haven't been able to do that, or we didn't have the expectations to be where we are. I'm being a player and manager. Unfortunately, it's very, very different, but really excited about it. It's a game that can help us to move forward quicker than expected.
Is there anything that you learned from those that you can take into this specifically?
Yes, because we had moments, especially in the season, when we managed to do it at Newcastle when Lawrence scored the header. That over the season it looked impossible, because we had a run of games that we lost because we have issues in the squad, and at the end we managed to do it when probably it was extremely difficult to achieve it at the time.
Adrian?
Mikel, what's it been like the last couple of years not being in the Champions League? Firstly, in terms of what you've been able to do as a club, also what do you feel maybe as a manager that you've missed out on, and maybe that will put into context maybe how big it will be if you can get it?
Well, you have to put into context the moment we arrived, it was in the middle of the season, then we have the success with the Cups, then COVID hits out more financial issues to the ones that we already had, obviously a big transformation of the squad. Is what it takes when you start to shed some sheets. It takes some time to see sometimes the effects of it, and we're in a position that probably we didn't expect to be in this moment, but really excited about it.
Matt?
Mikel, normally North London derby's big enough on its own, and then you've got the Champions League qualification on top of that. Then you've got the state of the two clubs at the moment. Could we be feeling the repercussions of tomorrow night's game for seasons to come in terms of belief and expectations and status in North London even?
I don't know. Obviously, the expectation is huge. The game brings the possibility for one of the clubs to achieve what we are looking for. And obviously, on top of that is the emotion and the passion that the derby brings in. But we need to be away from it, focusing what we have to do. And we know that to win the match tomorrow, we're going to have to be at our highest level.
Hi Mikel, I know there's been a lot of talk about how young this team is, but when you joined the club, that was also a very young dressing room. I was just wondering, how was that environment at the time. Did that influence you kind of with this crop of players?
Well, it's the team that we've been building for the last 2 seasons, and we've been trying to find the right balance between the senior players, the experiences that they had, the qualities, and the numbers that we have to manage to get the best out of the group. And it's not different to the time that I joined, and hopefully we can do it.
You've spoken a lot about the sort of connection between the fans and the players this season. What would winning tomorrow night do for that, the chance to have a landmark moment that these players and the fans won't forget?
The best way to show them gratitude for the way they have behaved with the team. For me, that would be the answer, to say thank you, and we are on this together, and now the journey is going to change slightly, and I think we are going to be more excited about the future.
And in terms of when you left Arsenal in 2016, you obviously went to work with Pep, but it was talked about you possibly going to work with Poch at Tottenham. Was that something that was ever close?
No.
And would you have ever considered going to work at Tottenham?
No, my relationship with Mauricio comes out since I was 18 years old, and I always said for me he was like a football father. I have extraordinary relationship with him, but unfortunately my experience as a player, he was a coach of Spurs, and I was here at the time, and that relationship doesn't change, but that wasn't the case.
And just finish, on behalf of everyone at Arsenal, Simon, we wish you good luck for your wedding on Saturday.
Okay, well done.
Thanks everyone.